What's going on, everybody? It's Matt the Lumberjack Landlord, and yes, you hear it in my voice. My children, the petri dishes strike again. The raging petri dishes. Eliana got me again. What can I say? I love my daughter and I love hanging out with her, and she sneezes in my face, and it's disgusting. But it got me cold. It got me sick again. So we'll see how long the voice holds up. But excited to be with you guys another night. Talking about tonight, massive market shifts. It's been an unbelievable week, kind of watching things unfold. Starting to read through the numbers for April, because we like to try and finalize things and then get deposits out and things like that for turnover of units. And it's honestly, it's been years since we've seen, frankly speaking, kind of this amount of time on market for a lot of these units. Our vacancy rate is still sub 2, and not sub 2 SUBTO, but sub 2%. So the market's still seemingly strong. But the level of lunacy that we're seeing from tenants or potential tenants is kind of beyond the pale. It's unbelievable, some of the stuff that we're seeing. Somebody 540 credit score, and I promise I'll pay. And I'm like, dude, what did you promise all the other people that have given you credit that you haven't paid on? So one of the things that's really important when you find a market like this is you sit back and you look at and you understand what exactly is occurring in the market. One of the things that we talk a lot about is Section 8 and Section 8 strategy being the wrong strategy. Well, I get the government's check every single month. Yeah, well, there's a lot of areas across the country that are down this year, and you're getting less. There's some markets that have said we're not allowing for any increases. There's some that have said we'll allow them, but it's going to be basically, moving heaven and earth to get them done. So there's a lot of problems, obviously, in the market. Obviously, people are finally running out of credit, like we always thought was going to happen. Excuse me. But what we also see is the market just being really soft. There's a lot of new construction in our area that's been built. Sadly, they are giving it away, which is fine. They're going to end up getting in trouble because they're approving people like back in 04, 5, and 6, when we were taking some renters. They were getting approved for houses, and we weren't approving them for rent. And so same things happening this time, except they're not getting approved for houses. They're getting approved for higher end apartments. Again, we try and keep like a B class property in a B or C class area. And it's kind of blowing me away right now, kind of watching some of it happen. We had somebody that on Monday got approved. They were thrilled. I got the lease over to them. Oh, no, excuse me. This was Tuesday. Tuesday night, got the lease to them. Didn't see anything signed yesterday, so I reached out to my agent this morning and said, "Hey, they've had it for 24 hours. They haven't signed it yet. What's going on? Any idea?" She writes back and she goes, "They just told me literally minutes ago that they got accepted another place. They're going to take that one." I'm like, "How did that happen?" She's like, "I have no idea." She's like, "I just don't know." So it's interesting watching the people that are changing over. It's interesting. The quality of tenant is poor. Still poor. Not great credit scores, not great income. And the funny thing is like these guys that got the other place, they were decent, but his credit score was in the 5s, hers was in the 7s. But again, they made $5,500 a month, and rent was, right around $2,000. So it was tight on the 3X. They made just under $2,000, or the rent is under $2,000. But yeah, so 3X, it was like right about there. So it's really, yes, honey and lime, yes sir. What's really funny is quick tangent. My kids will grab they'll grab the lemon and they'll eat it. Not my children, I don't think. I asked my wife, I was like, "Did you do this when you were a kid?" She goes, "No, way too sour." And I go, "They like it. It's the weirdest thing." And that obviously eats the enamel off your teeth, all that good stuff. So yeah, so it's an interesting time in this market. I don't know if it'll change. This is supposed to be the best time of year. we've consistently had 3 units open. I think that's what we have now. So we have 3 units open right now. I know that we have 3 more coming. I know that we have 3 more that are actually, let me see if that's one. Yeah, that's the them problem. So it's very interesting. That was something that just came in. These tenants, they love to report stuff at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, we're not going to send somebody out at 9 o'clock at night unless it's an actual emergency. Like, come on, really? Stop. That's silly. And you know, it was something that they knew months or hours ago. Excuse me. So, like I said, this market, it's going to be an interesting market. But that being said, hit me with your questions. Finally got Keene unit rented. Very good. Unit rented after all the struggle, definitely soft. Heard other landlords struggling, major layoffs from major Keene employer, and Brady Sullivan giving units away. So for those of you who don't know who Brady Sullivan is, they're one of the bigger developers around where we are. They're absolutely giving stuff away. They are. 2 months no rent, $99 move-in. Like, we've heard a bunch of different stories from tenants. And I get it when you only need $99 to move in, and like they're stealing tenants that would more than likely live with us. The issue is that how much money they're paying. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Because those tenants couldn't pay me $1,700 and they just signed on with you for 27. So good luck with that action. That's not going to go well for you. I can promise you that. And don't be surprised. Here's the crazy thing. So the next 2 months, right? So June, July, summer months. They will likely then have the money for August. And then September, they probably won't. Start the eviction process. October, November is when they're getting that unit back. December, January, February. Like, this is going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty. So it should be interesting to see what happens. Hold on one quick second. So, but congratulations. That's awesome news, Robert. Glad it happened. Here's the good news. You won. Other landlords are still losing. Like, I have 3 vacancies and I'm annoyed by 3. What's really funny is I know a lot of landlords that have a lot of vacancies. Like, you know, if you're at 4%, you're 3 times the average right now because it's just over 1%. So you're 3 times the average right now. Think about that. Like, they're 3 times the average right now. And the crazy thing is it's like, it's just not something we've seen for a few years. The good news is, having been down this path, I've done this just a few times, so I know a little bit about a little bit. That being said, as you guys show up, please, 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 June 5th, make sure you set an alert on the Raging Tomato. I will not be doing my show that night. I will be on the Raging Tomato to, I don't want to say debate. It's more like a throwdown. We're going to throw down. We're going to have some conversation. We're going to have conversation. Their forum, which it is that. It's a forum. But they're going to have a conversation about, overcutting of programs. And we're going to have that conversation about Section 8. So we're going to go to town, have that interesting conversation, which will be, and just so you guys know, I already told Zoob, don't watch it. Zoob doesn't like to scream, doesn't like to yell, doesn't like to have confrontation, doesn't like to fight. I'm good with all that stuff. It just is what it is. Maybe it's part New Englander thing, part hockey thing, part whatever thing. Don't know. But that should be interesting. But that's 2 Thursdays from now, June 5th. Make sure that you bookmark it, the Raging Tomato. Make sure that you show up, and just participate. And you guys will see what the other side lives like. You guys are doers. There are a lot of talkers, a lot of feelers. But I'm proud of this community, proud of you guys. I know it's hard to do what we do. I know it's hard. And even those, punk clowns that get in the chat and they're like, oh, let's get a real job. Dude, you couldn't do what I do on a daily. You couldn't. So, and it takes time to get to that. So, hopefully I'll see you guys there on the 5th. I would love for you guys to come in there and just see the kind of conversations that people that do nothing have. It's kind of incredible. So be excited to do that. Sarah is an amazing, amazing moderator. That's why I agreed to do the show actually, was because I thought that she did a really good job of being fair to people. She'll insult anybody, it's all fair game, which is good with me. And I didn't feel like she was, pulling for either side, if that made sense. So yeah, I thought Sarah was a phenomenal host. Due to brain decay, I won't go and watch every debate that they do. Just because I saw the types of conversations. Most of them are not there in pursuit of knowledge. They are there to bloviate and let their feelings be known, whether they matter or not. So it'll be interesting to see that, but excited to do that. Let's see. Let's see. We're going to go up. Let me just burn through these. Hey, what's up, Dion? Good to see you, pal. Yeah, my voice has gotten worse since yesterday, but I'm feeling better, and that's what matters. Jason Callis about it. Good evening, Matt and everyone. 3 goals on 5 shots. Ooh, who's that? Who's giving up 3 on 5? I don't know. My boy Brad's still alive. I want him to win another cup. He deserves it. Anna K, good evening. Old REI guy, Frank and Cynthia. Hi, guys. How are you? Mikey, good to see you. Chester, good to see you. Robert Finelli, good to see you, sir. Yeah, I don't sound good. It's, it just is what it is. And the cool thing is we'll have an update on the jail. I've been just, honestly, I've spent probably about an hour a day on that project. And we're so close to getting to that final phase where it's push for finish. So it's right after we're basically the phase now where the insulation is about to be done. And we've done the fire alarm system. We've done the suppression system, which is the sprinkler system. Learned a lot there. Don't want to do that again if I can avoid it. It was really painful. It was really very different than what I expected, very different than what I was used to. A lot of delays. This is why I teach the course that I teach, is because I take all the experiences that I have and teach you guys, hey, these are the things that you need to know and need to do and how do you need to do it. It was not good. It was not good. Months of delays and, thousands and thousands of dollars a month of carrying costs. There was nothing very good about that part of the project and what happened. It was really very frustrating in all honesty. But I'll certainly share that with you guys for sure. Ninja Vanish, good to see you. Angel, thanks again for the honey and lime. Yes, when I get finished upstairs, I actually probably will do some tea, some caffeine-free tea. Hi, Anna K, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Summertime Santa, good to see you. Robert, again, very glad that you got that thing rented because, yeah, they're trying to create competition in the market by giving stuff away. Good luck. I've had those tenants. They weren't very good. Wayne Wong, good to see you, sir. Summertime Santa, I know you've gone over this before, but can you reiterate? I have disgusting urine smell in the floors. Yeah, how would you go about treating that? So hydrogen peroxide is the best way to do it. You just pour on the hydrogen peroxide and it will get down, it will seep into the wood. And what it does is it actually pulls the ammonia out of the wood. And then when it comes to the top of the wood, it then crystallizes and then you can scrape it away. I can tell you the worst apartment that we ever had to do was 27 treatments. Yeah, it was 27 treatments. So just something you should be aware of. It might take a ton. It might not, who knows? Yeah, just as a heads up, that's what it could take 27 treatments like ours did. Wayne Wong, good to see you. Master Coach. Our new Section 8 tenant is giving us lip. Yep, but nothing else so far. Hopefully the premium will continue to be more than worth it. So, Master Coach, when you remember when we talked about it, that's exactly what I said. I said that woman's going to have, she has a bunch of kids. She's going to be lippy. She's going to be demanding. She's going to be all those things. So make sure you get your extra money for the use, for everything else. This is exactly what we've experienced, exactly the same thing. Moms with 4 kids and 5 kids, very mouthy, very entitled, Not very gracious. That's been largely the rule for us across the board. But the good news is that you are getting the rate. They are locked in for at least a year, and enjoy that. And then, do what you can to keep them on, because you would be amazed at what that unit's going to look like when you get it back. You need to get 2 or 3 years out of that tenant, because those units are pretty tough when you get them back. I promise you. That unit will be filthy dirty. It will have holes in walls. It will have a bunch of things that don't work. And they broke them all. That's how it's going to go. That if it follows form. Flavio, good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Hyder, good to see you, my friend. From the Florida Keys, my good buddy Bill's down in the Florida Keys. I hope you're having a blast and it's beautiful there. Thank you, people, for jumping out and jumping back in to abuse the thumbs up button. I appreciate that. Flavio, you will be there on the 5th. I appreciate that. I think you guys, it's very combative. It is a verbal coliseum. It's honestly, that's exactly what it is. So just note that I told you that. It's okay if you pop in and then you leave. I get it. I totally get it. For me, it's a way to just clear it, get it over with. Get the feelings out. And I have very little hope, that these guys get anything. Like there's some guys that are plenty sharp, but they're completely diametrically opposed in their views, but not based on fact or experience or just having seen it. But you'll see exactly what that's going to go like. Sarah's an amazing host, so she keeps everybody good. R. Freeman. Hey, Matt, Jen told me I should ask in the chat tonight. Sure. Excuse me. Had a vacant unit in my fourplex in Oregon City for over 40 days. Any suggestions on how to get it rented? I have second one vacant for 22 days now. If you've not taken the course, that's one of the things we cover. But it's usually how you're writing the ad. It's usually looking at other ads that have been written. How are you differentiating? And building your rent box. Those are the 4 things that really we look at, that we dissect in the course. In fact, we've had a lot of people tell us, hey, just how you teach us how to market our units is worth the entire course price. I'm not trying to sell you the course, but it'd literally take me an hour to take you through exactly what we do to rent our units, and why Robert Farinelli was ahead of all of these other landlords getting his unit rented when theirs wasn't. So those are the 4 areas that you look. You look at your rent box, what other people are doing in the area, what you're not doing, and then the construct of the ad, how it's written. Because we take you through a tutorial of exactly here's the language that you use, and it gets people more traffic. We've literally heard people getting no traffic on their ads, and then they use ours, and boom, they're rented in 5 or 6 days. Happened to John Williams. It's happened for Farinelli, Chris Culp. The list is long and distinguished of the number of people. So we know that we teach it as a science. But yeah, it's about an hour long, so I couldn't take you through it here. But those are the 4 areas that we look at. If you look at those 4 areas, that should help you start to get some momentum in the right direction. All nighter. I'll be in Alaska, most likely with no internet. Yes, I understand, but you'll be there in spirit. I would love to have you there, Hyder, you especially, because you know the law very well. Robert Farinelli, going to be interested to see how well a lot of the other unit do for rentals, but seeing a lot of inventory in Manchester. It does. You will. That's what happened in the last correction. You saw there was all of a sudden, there was all of this inventory where it was like, where is this inventory coming from? It's because they were allowing people to move up from their, BC units into B plus and A minus units. And they were allowing them to do it with no money down and, deposit, and then let the chase be on. I just don't like running my business that way. I'll take a good tenant. I'll wait. Jason Callis, I can't wait for June 5th. I know. I'm just need my voice. So it's 2 Thursdays from tonight. 2 Thursdays from tonight. No show for me. Everything will be over there. Angel R. I find it ironic how in the last 5 years, no one cared about inflation. And now everyone is so worried about how inflationary Trump tariffs will be. I don't see how prices can go up if the consumer is broke. That's exactly right. The prices can go up, but then people stop buying it. But then when people stop buying it, the sellers of it have to lower their margins and try and so yeah, that's kind of what happens. What's going to end up happening is inflationary can quickly turn into deflation, right? Where it's not just going down or going up less, it's literally going down in price. I don't know about you, but are you enjoying the better prices at the pump? I know I am. I know I am. It's saving me hundreds of dollars a month. I absolutely freaking love it. Link for the Raging Tomato. Thank you very much, Chester. Great mod. Appreciate you. Hey, there's Jennifer from Powerful Property Solutions. Good to see you, Jen. For those of you who don't know who Jen is, absolutely worth a quick consult with her. And not consult like, hey, build my business for me, but hey, if you're interested, I'm trying to, buy more properties in my area. And what she she was a wholesaler. She was a wholesaler for 15,000 hours of wholesaling. Then she said, I can't spread myself any more thin. I got to start getting the right people underneath me so I can actually teach them how to become wholesalers as well. She did that. Then she was selling that as a service to people. And she's like, yeah, this works really well for small investors like us. Excuse me. For small investors, that's interesting. For small investors like us, we need somebody. Our bandwidth is the problem, right? Well, do I need to be managing my properties? Do I need to be finding the next deal? Do I need to be taking care of tenants? There's all these demands and pulls on your time, including family, friends, and all this other stuff, right? So the idea for us is we want to outsource the things that we can outsource, and we certainly want to outsource things where others can do them better. So Jen runs a massive company of virtual assistants that speak very good English. In fact, probably better English than most of us. But they're very clean on the phone. They record the conversation so you can hear your VA and how they're asking questions and what they're doing. It's all, everyone knows. But it's absolutely phenomenal. But she helped transform our business because we had a 1031 that was running out. We didn't have any deals. And so now we're in a much better position. Let's see. See, that guy's going to get my business, and I'll teach you that guy's in just a second. So Jen's absolutely fantastic. So if you're trying to expand your business, if you're trying to get your next deal and you're not having any success, guess what? Don't compete on MLS. Find a way to create the deal on your own. And that's with working with Jen's team. She'll have a quick conversation with you, say, hey, this is what it is. This is what we do. And this is how it's done. And then she can get you a number and say, hey, this is what you're looking at for the number of places that we can target for you. And then that's how you hire her. And then you hire her and you watch the leads come in, and they don't come in like 17 a day because they don't do that when you're doing it anyway. But you at least get some leads, and they can be long-term or short-term. Usually they are, they have to be graduated a little bit through the process, but it gets you practice at having the conversation. And then you start to create your deals in the future. Because guess what? If you're still going to be investing in a year or 2 or 3, you're going to need deals then too. And these are all deals that you create yourself, and then just stay in touch with them like I have. And we'll have some guys that have said, we're not quite ready yet, but probably next year. And we're like, yeah, sounds good. It's a deal that I don't have right now. And it's a deal that I wouldn't have next year if I hadn't been introduced to them. So anyway, give Jen a look up. Let me see. Though they can put your information in below. But yeah, Powerful Property Solutions, Jen Stewart. Robert Fairnight, being confrontational is definitely both a New England and a hockey thing. It really is. It really is. And I don't mind confrontation. I mean, and I don't mind having a conversation. Like, conversation's fine. And we can even disagree on things. Deanna and I disagree on things. Mike and I disagree on Zub and I disagree on things. Like, we disagree on some things, and that's fine. That's fine. And if you're going to be a jerk about it, then it's going to get nasty. Master Coach University, have you ever seen a tenant break a porcelain bathroom sink? Oh, for sure. Pretty sure that doesn't count as wear and tear. It absolutely does not. It does not. No, it doesn't. Not unless when they moved in, they can prove they had a crack in it. But yeah, I've absolutely seen them. They will break everything, my man. They will break faucets. They will break cabinet door handles. They will likely break fridge shelves. They will put holes in walls. They will break doors. They will break handles. They will break. Yes. Yep. Sure. Expect it. Yeah. Master Coach. There you go. R. Freeman. Hi, Jen. Yep. Julie Anderson. Sorry you're sick. That's okay. Thank you, Julie. It'll get better. It'll get better. This is the last throw, I think, for the springtime. And I was telling my mother-in-law, I said I wouldn't trade what I get with my daughter for what I got with this cold. Because we just a lot of times the other kids are going up and upstairs going to bed with my wife, and I'm down with her, and we just laugh about stuff and tease each other, and it's so much fun. And I know she doesn't do it on purpose, but it's almost every single time she sneezes, if she's within 5 feet of me, it's in my direction. Gross. It's so gross, but I love her. Love my daughter. She's awesome. She's so cool. Angel R. Matt, what's your strategy in this market to secure a good tenant? That's a great question. So it really is understanding the rent box. It really is writing great ads. So because I just want more swings at it, right? So you look at a guy and you go, hey, he got 4 swings at it and he hit one and that's all you really need. That's true. That's true. And 1 for 4 in landlording is pretty good. However, you can find guys that have had 10 and 15 and 20 tours and still not had it rented. I'm asking tenants, hey, love to understand why I didn't rent the place. So it's that piece of following up on the backside, but the key is always the same thing. It's good credit. It's good credit because I've seen people with 400 credit scores that don't pay any bills and they've never moved into one of my places, but they find a place and surprise, surprise, I see them in the ads 6 months later looking for a place again. I've seen people with 700 credit scores, and even if their income is 2x or 2.5x, they still make all their bills. So, wow, it's really raining outside today. So from that perspective, it's still credit. It's still credit and the timeliness in which they turn things around. It's a respect factor, for sure for me. So the strategy is writing great ads that get me the highest number of ups that then get me the best opportunity to get a good tenant, and then just good qualification standards, which is mainly credit. And then second thing is no evictions. And then the third thing is I want to see that you've paid your landlord the last 3 months. I want to see it. Somebody provided that to us and it showed us the 27th of the month, the 15th of the month, and like the 20th of the month. And so we asked them, we said, hey, when was rent due? They're like, oh, it's due on the 1st. And we're like, oh, so these 3 were all late? Yeah, they were late. Dude, if you're 2 weeks, and they were going up in price, they were a no for us. I don't want a bad tenant. I don't want a bad tenant. And okay, it took me 4 weeks to get rid of the coughs. Hang in there, Matt. Oh, thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. Julie Anderson, pretty sure my PM is stealing from me. Yeah, I had my attorney send an emergency immediate termination of contract. I'm so sorry to hear that, Julie. And sadly, it's just so often the case. They're just like, they justify everything that they do. Well, we're the PM. Well, we're the this and we're the that. And it's like, dude, you're getting paid for your job. What are you talking about? Why would you think it's right to saddle me with that? And then the worst part is they don't particularly take care of the tenants. And when they don't take great care of the tenants, guess what happens? Tenant doesn't renew. They split. They're gone. Well, then what do? It's not good. It's not good. Not good at all. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Let's see. Dion, Frank, Ninja. Hey, yeah. All right. Master Coach, June 5th is completely off. Tailgate party. UFC living room Super Bowl night. Yeah, there's guys, prepare. You guys have seen me curse and say bad things. It's nasty. It's nasty. Just I will say really mean things. Really mean. Because a lot of times that's the only way you can get people with feelings to pay attention. So things will be said that will stop people in their tracks. Just saying. So if that means that you can't learn from me anymore, I understand. I'm sorry in advance. But mean things will be said. Very mean things. It's sometimes the only way that you can stop them in their tracks to listen. Let's see. The Grumpy Contractor. What's up, friend? Bank finally agreed on my auction property under contract. Closes June 8th. Good job, pal. Good job. Really begins 3 burrs at the same time. Good thing. I've been a contractor for a while and used to pressure. You're killing me with that. You're killing me with that. 3 at the same time. The course does not teach 3 at the same time. It doesn't. But it does teach how to make sure that auction property happened. You did a great job, Jim. Congratulations to you. Let's see. Been having a great time with a few internet buddies. Good. Jim, we will run annual inspections and put them to task. Yeah, make sure that you're doing that. You know what you can do to make it even easier? Just contact the office within a month of that final, or within 6 weeks of their anniversary. Just ask to tag along on their inspection. That way you don't have to do anything separately. That way you get the chance when you get outside to talk to the inspector. If it's really bad, you can say, yeah, this was inspected last year. They just moved in a year ago, and this is what they're leaving us with. Like, this is not good. And that can a lot of times help you as well. Let's see. Right after this trip on Tuesday. Chris Culp. Hey, Chris Culp. Sound rough from the plague children. Yes, my little Petri dishes, they got me again, but that's okay. That's all right. I love them. No matter what they do, I love them. Robert Farinelli, yeah, I am saving the ad we wrote in boot camp of how to write an ad to sell and not as an engineer. So Robert brings up a great point. A lot of times it's people's personal bias or what get into the ad. You need to put yourself in the buyer's or the renter's shoes and what would be most important to them. Now, there's largely something a little bit different, important to everybody, but largely it's the same core things. And so very often that's one of the things that we write. And again, 27 years of sales and marketing experience, sold hundreds of millions of dollars of product. So I know a little bit about this. And I've rented out over $10 million worth of rentals. Like, the numbers and the deal and the time and the expertise is all there, but that's why we specifically call it out as a big part of the course. But yeah, to that point, Robert's exactly right. We wrote it. We took it. He had a very accurate ad and one that no one was answering. And now he had a few answer it, but he got it rented. And that's what matters. Craig, good to see you, my friend. Chris Culp, I've never seen tenants so poor. Yeah, first time I saw criminal, severe misdemeanor charges, sub 630 for the husband, sub 560 for the spouse. I actually like the tenants, but way too risky. That's exactly right. The quality of tenant that we're seeing now is pure crap. Pure crap. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate it. I hope I feel better too. And nice hair extensions. We were walking the neighborhood down here looking at price and condition of properties. Very cool. Yeah, the keys are great. Keys are great. Very expensive though. And the big thing you got to look at there, Hyder, is insurance. The insurance is unbelievable. Yeah, one Ian Keys. Thank you, Alpha Rentals, for the super sticker. Thank you very much. Robert Farinelli, my Section 8 tenants can't stop slamming doors and making them fall off the hinges. Yep. On one of the doors, they broke the frame, even broke microwave due to slamming. Yeah, it's aggressive. So one of the things in the course we talk about is using solid core doors. The solid core doors make a difference, and here's why. Because it's solid wood, number one. And number two, and most importantly, you can use a bigger, thicker, longer screw to more set it in the wall where that sort of stuff doesn't happen. The other ones that you get, the hollow cores that come with these, brass looking or gold looking hinges, the screws are very, very thin and they screw into a piece of the door, which is only about an inch thick of frame. So that's again, why we use what we use. Master Coach, very hard to gauge small town market for growth and economic drivers. I completely agree. Pops range between 5K and 300K. One town is 100K, but only from a giant airbase. Seems risky to bet a town's entire future on one source. So that's very true. Bases do close. We had that happen in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, something called Pease Air Force Base. And it rocked the area for about 10 years, 10, maybe even 12. It was a long time. But it did eventually heal. Pricing obviously was way down. Things were way depressed. You could get super cheap rents because there was plenty of supply and there was not enough people because the people left, thus creating the supply. So for me, I'm not focused so much on the 300,000. I'm focused more on the, hey, where's the niche town that just has that has decent employers within a half hour commute. So we're about an hour from Boston. We're about 45 minutes or so from a big tech hub. And you can go inland, you can go up to manufacturing, you can go down to services, you can go further down to financial services and tech. And so in our area, again, we're in towns 30,000, 20,000, and 3,000. But it's all, and the for 3,000 one's just like kind of perfectly nestled in a corridor. It's lots of grass, more trees than people, but you can get to where you want to get to in 10 minutes. And then a lot of the jobs and stuff like that. Like we have the shipyard here, which is, obviously steady for us. But yeah, that's always a concern. There would be a lot more housing available if the shipyard shut down for sure. Pallavi Patel. Hey, it's all right. Good to see you, Pallavi. Andres. Hi, Matt. Which one is a better investment? Large apartment complex or several quadruple triplexes? Me, I would take the many quads. That's what I would do. The reason why is because very often in a down market, you can't sell those large buildings. They don't trade because people can only then buy them for cash, or banks want you to put 40% down. For a duplex, triplex, quadplex, trips and quads specifically, it's owner occ. It's only 5% down. You could market it to that. You could market, hey, live rent free. All you have to do is qualify for the mortgage. There's a bunch of marketing techniques around that. So for me, I would much rather own, if I'm going to own 40 units, I'd rather it not be in one building. I'd rather it be in 10 buildings. The value of those 10 buildings is going to be far higher than the one building. But also I don't have to sell out to get my piece. I can sell a couple of them and I can still keep 8. That one asset may turn into trash. It may, being in one area, something could affect it. You could have a murder in the building. There's all sorts of things that can occur that then tie it to that one address, that one building. There are benefits to it, but if I had to choose between the two, because I have some large buildings and I have obviously a lot of small ones. I like the small ones because they're liquid. If I'm just like, yeah, that train, I don't like how that neighborhood's gone, the new traffic loop there, whatever. So done. I'm out. You can't do that with a 40 unit building. Think of it this way. How many people can buy a 4 unit and how many people can buy a 40 unit? I'd much rather be on the side that has a lot more people that can buy the asset that I have. Julie Anderson, ding, ding, bingo. Yeah, I know. I've seen it. That's why I did the course, honestly, Julie. I was ripped off by a property manager, by 2 of them. They were doing nothing, cycling, and I found out that they were cycling tenants. I had paid for a tenant, went in there. They were there 2 months, then didn't pay their 3rd month. That qualified as being a tenant. So I had to pay to get rid of them. Then I still let that property management team do it. They picked another tenant. That tenant was there for 37 days or 38 days. It was like a week past a month, but their clause was only 30 days. And I'm like, guys, you're shit at what you do. You're just pure shit. You've charged me a fee twice. You didn't give me any discount on the second one. Like, you're pure shit. And they're like, well, we know what we're doing. I go, clearly not. And you're fired because you suck. Master Coach, I will throw elbows. That is true. That is true. In fact, I'll probably be wearing a hockey jersey, in all honesty, with the fight strap attached in the back. Chris Culp, he's in Philadelphia. Yep. Top 15 place to retire, according to some recent press. So what's really interesting is that Manchester, New Hampshire is one of the top housing markets in the country. You just watch. I'm not wishing badly upon my friend Robert Farinelli, but I was in that market. I was in that market when it went poo-poo. And I'm hoping it doesn't happen again because it goes down hard and fast. Chris Culp, very high rate on tenant renewal. Excellent. Wealth with rentals. I have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath ADU with no AC or air vents in the summer. What would you do to install and cool the unit, and where to install it? I would probably do I'd probably do a mini split, but I wouldn't do. You can do the heads on the walls, but you can also do something called cassettes, and cassettes are actually put up in the ceilings. So I would do one of those. As a grumpy contractor, I twisted your arm. I know. But yeah, that's what I would do. Wealth Plus Rentals. I would do a mini split. They're not crazy expensive. You can get cheaper ones. You can spend a little bit more money like we spent or like I spent on the cassette versions. And basically all it is instead of it hanging on the wall, it installs in the ceiling. So you don't have to worry about that piece. And then you can have multiple cassettes and each one can run. You can have one at 70 and one at 74. So it allows you that temperature difference in the room. Rowan Nicholas, Matt, still trying to buy a rental for a decent price. It's a job in and of itself. You're exactly right, Rowan. And that's honestly why we outsource to Jennifer Stewart and her team. We have them find the deal and then we worry about trying to put the deal together and close on it. I went and I looked at an 11 unit this last week. We're working on a creative financing offer. They said no to our initial offer. We're reworking it and sending it back over. And yeah, we're going to see if that sticks. See if they're willing to do a deal with us. When will the last boot camp replays be available? They should be any day. I'm being told by marketing any day. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm being told any day. Believe it when I see it. Airborne 2. Was there for college? February 83 blizzard. Maybe go Northern California. Nice. Kyle, inheriting a house soon. Super smoker for 30 years. What's the first step? The first step is hydrogen peroxide on the walls. Yeah, you can see if you can save them. That's usually your biggest option. Hydrogen peroxide on the walls. Apply it liberally. Just literally spray it on the walls. And dude, it's going to be gross. It's going to just roll. Like you're going to go from a dark yellow to a lighter yellow, and then it just gets shades and shades lighter. And then you wait to see how much you can actually get it. Once you get it pretty close to clear, at that point, you can then use Kills or a Zinsser or a Bins that actually will seal in any of the smell, but it also seal in the staining, and then you can color, and then you can paint any color you want. Those are all your options. I don't know, Julie. Chris Culp, do you see that? Is your dad's name Lauren? So I don't know. Here to I'm after a long time. That's okay. I'm good. I'm glad to see you, Pallavi. I bought your course. I just haven't done it. I know, Julie. It's there. Do it. I'm telling you, take the time to do it. It's there. You paid for it. Just do it. We see that sometimes. Sometimes life happens. I get it, but do it. It's there. Chris Culp, Matt, serious questions. Suppose I messed up on taxes, need payment plan for the next 10 months. Thoughts? Yep. Yeah, I made a mistake this year on my taxes. The mistake is that we sold something outright and we shouldn't have sold it outright. We should have 1031'd it. I was an idiot. It was the first time I think I've ever sold something outright. And I'm like, why did I do that? And it was because I didn't refactor depreciation and I didn't refactor profit. I made a lot more on it than I thought I did. And I'd done the math and I'd missed something. Ugh. So yeah, payment plan. That's the way to do it. You don't want to zap your cash fund. Whatever rate they're going to charge is usually nominal. And so, yeah, I would do a payment for sure. Pallavi, LL, missed you all. Just couldn't continue since a long time under circumstances. Understood, my friend. Understood. I'm glad that you're here. Glad you're back. No matter how often you can come. Remember, Matt, I'm in an A neighborhood in Manchester. I think I'll be okay. Remember, Robert, everybody got affected at Manchester last time. So I'm just telling you, Just telling you, buckle up. People in West and Central Manchester are cooked. People in North and South Manchester will weather the storm. Yeah, I think there's weathering the storm, but I think that, anytime that there's a softer market, you always just want to make adjustments. So it's all about insurances. Wealth with rentals. Would you install 2 or 3 mini splits in a 2-bed? Let's see. One in a living room, one in a kitchen, one in each, or one in each bedroom. How about when the door's closed? So the way that we did it is we did in our 2 bedrooms, we do 3. We do 1 in each bedroom, and then we do 1 in like the kitchen, living room area. That's how we do it. Chris, she was asking if that was your dad's name, Lauren. Matt Need. Oh. Okay. Pallavi. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Pallavi. Need lead counsel. Oh, gotcha. I will. Samuel, what's up, pal? Good to see you. Good to see you, Samuel. Going to look at a few new duplexes. I'm sorry, Pallavi. I'll get back to you in just 1 second. Going to look at a few new duplexes tomorrow. Hoping to maybe make an offer if things look good. Any tips? What to look for in the outside area? Houston streets where things turn block by block. Yeah. So just the big things, you just want to look at. It's always, as far as outside goes, it's always the roof. It's always the condition. A lot of times if it's brick, in those areas, you want to just make sure the brick's in good shape. Foundationally, you want to make sure you see no cracks in walls, that sort of stuff. Landscaping, don't ever let that bother you because you can do the landscaping. Fences, you can replace fence pieces. It's really like the big stuff. It's the roofs, it's the outdoor AC units and things like that. Those are the things that you just want to be keeping an eye for. As far as area, when you leave the showing, kind of drive a few blocks in each direction. Spend a little bit of time driving around just to make sure that you're not like 2 streets away from where AK-47s were used a couple weeks ago. So yeah, that should help. All right, Pallavi, you're up, buddy. Just wondering, how's your daughter doing? Thought I was away, but she was always in my prayers and then lights. I appreciate that. So I will show you guys a picture of. Actually, I just posted this picture too. Unbelievable. Working on the loan, and I'm not very happy. Give me 1 second here. I will show you guys the picture. Because actually, I'm going to announce that tonight. I forgot. I got to announce that tonight. Let's see. On my Instagram, you will see this picture. So here's the picture. So that's my daughter with our haul at the Home Depot. And yeah, that's legit. That's literally just a couple days ago. So I put that on Instagram. So Pallavi, that's how she's doing. She's doing amazingly well. She's a big girl and she is still in pre-K right now. I will see if I have a picture of just her. It's kind of funny. The little one. Yeah. So they're doing great. Yep. That's the most recent picture I have of her because it was just yesterday. Yeah. Here's us having lunch together. Yep. So she's doing super awesome. She wanted a hot dog. So that's what she got. There you go. That's Little Nugget. So that's my daughter. That's Eliana. So she's doing great. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for your prayers. That made all the difference. We got her miracle. She's the only child who was diagnosed in 2021 that's still alive. I think she's actually also the only one that's still alive from 2022. So yeah, so it's an absolute miracle. And so we're very grateful. She just turned 4 on on April 6th. She just turned 4. Yeah. So it's awesome. So yeah, she's doing great. Thank you for asking. Let's see. So yeah, we covered that. Samuel, yeah, drive the area a little bit. Cat pee removal tutorial. Yep. I have to get a unit with cat pee because it doesn't work if you don't have cat pee. We might have one. I'm hoping we don't. Wealth with rentals. Yeah. You and Samuel, you guys should absolutely connect. I know you guys are both in I know you guys are both in Houston for sure. But yeah, that's Eliana. She's doing great. Yeah, she's a cutie. She's so excited. Yeah, she's great. She's beautiful. Yeah. Yes, very, very healthy. It's the most important thing. And she has more fight in her than all of my kids combined. She is hard and aggressive and pushes, and I love her for it. She's really, really, really just amazing. She's very amazing little girl for sure. And everything that she went through was for a reason, for sure. There's no doubt. Yeah, she is. Yep, Eliana, Elianna. Yep, is how you spell her name. But yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, she's awesome. She's a lot of fun. Booger Fart Boy, good to see you, pal. Chris Culp, I can peer on the walls of one of your units. Oh yeah, pee on the walls. Yeah, yeah. We got to find. I think we got a unit coming back that's gonna have a cat issue. I think we have one of those coming back. So yeah, so that'll be interesting. Let's see. So the last thing. So the thing that I could announce to you guys. Because I'm going to cut it at 10 because as you can tell, my voice is going. And so I'm just going to go sit in silence in my room, watching another documentary. I'll have some documentaries to talk about with you guys next week because I've watched a ton of them in the last week, or two. The winner is actually, I kid you not, it is Adam Shiflett is the winner. He guessed 1,037. The retail price was $4,500 or $4,600. And our total bill, after discounts, was $1,078. $1,078. Yeah. So where do you find your documentaries? Are they Canadian documentaries? Yeah. Yeah. Some are, Josh. Believe it or not, some are. Florida 4-0 into the second. Oh, nice. Good. Good. Oh man, I'm telling you, they're going back to the cup, baby. They're going back to the cup. And Marshy's going to get into the ring. I can't wait for him to get into the ring. So where do I get my documentaries? Netflix. Some are just like, I just look up other documentaries. Oh, thanks. My wife's so nice. She goes, I know you had a rough, long day and you're not feeling well. I made the kids lunches. Thanks, babe. Thanks, babe. Yeah. Yeah, she's a great wife. I'm very blessed. Are mini splits the same as the window? No, they're not. Nope, they're not. No, completely different. It's a installed system. You want to contact an HVAC specialist and talk to 3 different HVAC guys in your area, get quotes. No, it's not wall units at all. It is, or window units. They're actually wall units and they call them cassettes. How do I keep large dogs out of my property without breaking the law? You can have a pet policy saying that they can only be X size. I don't know how your state feels about those laws, but in our state, we can set the size of the dog that's allowed. We can say no dogs, but I don't need to do that. I just need no big dogs. Julie, I asked, the dogs in my units must be below 40 pounds and non-reactive. Yeah. And that's an insurance term as well. Let's see. There was another question up there that I wanted to answer. Oh, the documentary thing. Yeah. So documentaries, Netflix. I watch a lot of documentaries. I'll search for documentaries on just like on streaming. I'll look at some documentaries on YouTube, not as much. And then the topics that I typically follow are financial crime, and documentaries on the housing market crash, the Great Depression. So I watch a lot of that stuff. That's why when somebody wants to talk about the crash, I will bury them. I've seen almost every documentary. I've seen every documentary that I've ever heard of on the housing crash, and I've not seen it once. I've seen it 7 to 10 times. I just really absorbed that. It was something that happened to me, and in order to make it never happen again or not have it happen to me again, I wanted to learn it so well that I could see any of the different signs. And that's why I made my call last year that by the end of the year that we would be down 10% in housing. on the median price, existing homes. And we were down. We were down. From the peak, we were down. We weren't down 10%, but we were down. And we're going to go down further because I still believe the biggest difference in what changed it, in all honesty, I thought Kamala was going to win. And so if Kamala had won, we would have seen 10% down. But because Trump won, we didn't see 10% down. No, too many pro-growth policies. And it gave the market hope. I was asking how insurance views them. They view it as a normal heating system or AC system, because that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. If you look at any of them, because they're electric, but they're all hardwired and drain lines and the whole nine. Yep. So they view them as a normal system. Yep. Wealth of Rentals, amazing price. How did you get it? Great question. That's a great question right there. You get highlighted for that one, Wealth of Rentals. So here's how we got that deal. Relationships, like we talk about all the time, and I'll leave you guys with this. We make sure that the people in our different areas, we make sure that they know that we are landlords and that we like to take care of our tenants. So anytime that there's a special on something cool, please just let us know. And they're like, well, what's something cool? Whatever. Let us know. Let us know and we'll tell you if it's cool or not. Kenny, my lead property guy, he was in Home Depot and they go, hey, listen, we heard there's going to be a big sale down in Northampton, which is about 35 minutes away from us. And he goes, oh, cool. Very interesting. And so he's like, yeah, sure. Cool. And so I called him in the morning. We usually have a few minute phone call. And I talked to him and he's like, hey, they're going to be this, that, and the other. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, I can make time today if you want me to. I go, no, you know what? I'll go down with Eliana. We'll make it a daddy-daughter adventure. So we went down there and we saw them. And yeah, they had 16 or 17 SKUs on sale for 75 to 80% off. And so we just went through. Manager comes over. She goes, you're going to take all of them? And I go, probably all but the Hampton Bay or Glacier Bay. And so we did. We got all of them. We got a lot of them. I asked them on this one faucet that we got 6 or 8 of. I said, how many of these do you had? She goes, we had 50. I go, how'd that happen? She goes, I wish I knew. I said, that Kohler rep must have loved you. But it was all Kohler stuff at 75% off. So it was mostly Kohler. There was a little bit of Moen in there. I think there were like 1 or 2 Deltas, but it was mostly Kohler and a little bit of Moen. So very happy. But again, from our perspective, it is $4,600 worth of material for $1,000. Obviously we put it on a credit card, but we'll pay it off at the end of the month. And the cost of that money being there is really not that much of a cost, to store some of that stuff. So if you ever have, even if you just have some black totes that you throw in your garage, watch for those big sales. Ask the pro department when they're going to do a big sale. Ask them that stuff and it will blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. Need input about to go from manufactured home or not. They depreciate like cars over a 30-year period, but they depreciate much faster. Most banks won't underwrite a mobile home because it's not a home, it's a mobile. So it's got wheels. So it's more of a car loan. So yeah, don't, I would love that asset if it were put on a pad. I would love that asset, but if it's not put on a pad, kind of not. The housing crash of 2008 was not due to housing or MBS. It was a symptom of a systemic failure. Yes, agreed. It was greedy people, it was greedy bankers, and it was lack of oversight. It was all 3 of those things. Yeah, it was all 3 of them. Everybody was greedy. People that didn't have houses, that wanted houses, they lied. They would do stated income. How much money do you make? I make $150,000 a year. Do I need to prove it? No. I make $250,000 a year. Stated income. That's what it is. And the bankers, they saw the opportunity and they said, hey, listen, so long as Wall Street needs these and they're going to buy them off of us, we're going to keep on selling them and sell them to Wall Street. And then from an underwriting perspective or from a rating agency perspective, they completely were derelict in their duties, marking things that, were not even close to AAA, just so they would get the rating and they could sell it. It's bad. It's on pad, not wheels. So that's good. The challenge is then finding the right bank that considers it still a manufactured home and not a mobile home at that point. Manufactureds, they just follow typically a little bit of a different path as far as value goes. But if you find a place where you can do manufactured and you can still get your decent rents, then it's a no-brainer. Yeah, it's good. We would love to do them. Hey, Jen Tam, good to see you. Thanks for saying hi. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, so that's how I feel about that. Guys, have a fantastic, fantastic rest of your day, a rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next week. And don't forget, Raging Tomato, go and bookmark it. Check it out. Love to see you guys there. Well, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody. See you guys. Bye now.